Allow me to add my voice to this motion, and I want to congratulate Honorable Brighton Yegon for sponsoring it. And this motion, Mr. Speaker, is actually covering even wider issues that should be open to debate and to national conversation. Because, Mr. Speaker, children do not make application on where they are to be born. Just yesterday, we had the end of the International Breastfeeding Week. And my question is, if you're arrested and you have a breastfeeding child, do we actually have a way to ensure that child gets to breastfeed to the recommended WHO 6 months that is exclusive, and to 2 years as recommended, Mr. Speaker, to boost their immunity? So, Mr. Speaker, this issue, and I think during the time that Honorable Mudi Awori was the minister, there are some serious reforms and drafts of reforms that happened in the correctional facilities. And I want to join Honorable Jalas or Felix of Langata to say that this issue actually should be transmitted to the Social Protection Committee or the Labor Committee of this House. They actually should make an inquiry and a visit to the correctional facilities so that we are able to know how many children are languishing with their parents in jails and don't get an education, which, by the way, is a constitutional right under Article 53. Do not get to enjoy a comprehensive medical care or cover, which is another right by the Constitution, Mr. Speaker. They should actually visit these correctional facilities, let us know how many children we are talking about, and even to the President, Mr. Speaker, and to the power of mercy. The many offenders that are in the jails and our correctional facilities today, you will find some that are hardcore criminals, women, Mr. Speaker, but most of the women incarcerated are petty offenders, Mr. Speaker. So even when we are doing pardons, these are the people we should actually consider first, because we would want to unite them to their families, Mr. Speaker. And as has been said by many members, gone are the days that we used to be sure that if you leave your child with your extended family, they are safe. No longer, Mr. Speaker, because even when you leave young kids with their relatives, how many incidences have we seen of defilement? Have we seen of incest? Have we seen of sexual abuse propagated by members of the family, Mr. Speaker? That way, this broken family unit then sends these children to the streets where they are more vulnerable, not only to disease, to abuse. They lack the education, they lack the medical cover, and these, Mr. Speaker, are constitutional and even in the international treaties provided for children, Mr. Speaker. So this motion is quite heavy, and I hope that the member for Koloin can actually pick it up either by an ad hoc committee or to the existing committees in this House, so that they do a fact-finding tour of all the correctional facilities. Mr. Speaker, as Honorable Makali Mulu had said earlier, these motions at the end of the day, and we've seen that in the previous parliaments, may end up here. And when you say urges the government, we agree we should urge the government. But in terms of deliverables, who does the follow-up of these motions, Mr. Speaker? And this also goes to the Committee of Implementation in this House. How many motions have we assented to so far in this 13th Parliament? How many have actually started being implemented? Does it need to be a bill? And how do you hold into account this House in terms of implementing these motions, Mr. Speaker? So I think it calls to a bigger responsibility. The Committee of Implementation, the Social Protection Committee, the Labor Committee, all these committees, Mr. Speaker, must work hand in hand to ensure that children, who are the very important persons in this country and this republic, Mr. Speaker, are not left behind. Because when we speak of the SDGs, when we speak sustainable development goals, and we say leaving no one behind, and yet no one speaks for the children, because children will not be members of parliament in this House when they are minors. It is us to speak for them, because we are parents and we are representing them, Mr. Speaker. And even if they do not vote, we actually are their voice. So I hope that this can be truncated to even a bigger agenda to actually do a fact finding, so that we can be able to tell what correctional measures can be done. And more importantly, the Committee of Implementation in this House must be able to table reports on the already churned out very many motions that have been assented to and very many bills that have been assented to know how far have we gone in implementation. I thank again Honorable Brighton Yegon, and I support the motion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable Abdul Haro of Mandera South.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for allowing me the opportunity to put my voice and contribute to this important motion. on the development of implementation of a child care program for children whose parents are in lawful custody. And I must take this opportunity to thank Honorable Brighton Yegon